Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm still here with my buddy Dave Quinn. He is People.com's housewife expert. And now Skyping in from Orange County is the beautiful former Real Housewife, Alexis Bellino. So Alexis, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, we're great.
Hello.
You definitely found your light, girl. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Short
Well,
hair.
yeah, short hair, don't care. Well, look, it was really fun to see you make a cameo on Real Housewives of Orange County last night. So tell us what inspired you to come back to the show, even just for that one scene with Emily.
Well, I love Emily, and she's a good friend. But I think that the viewers wanted to see or hear an update from me, and I have been kind of just healing and getting through the whole divorce. So I just felt like it was time to come back out and let everybody know a little bit about the divorce and my new relationship.
Well, I want to talk all about this new relationship because you opened up about your new boyfriend, Drew. Tell us about him. Have you really never had an argument with him at all?
Well, since that taping, yes, we've had an argument. It was one, and we worked through it. Like, it was just, I've never experienced anything like this in a relationship. We're just truly like he's my best friend before anything else. And I don't know, we just click on a way that I honestly thought this was only what fairy tales were about. I didn't know that you actually could find someone that's this much your soulmate. Now I think there's only one soulmate in this world for you. I don't think that you have four. They always say you have someone, all over the world. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know about that.
He's the one.
He's very hot. I will say that. He's very attractive.
Hey, hands off.
I'm staying away,
Dave.
I promise. I'm happy, but he's real cute. Does he have kids?
Yes, he does have 2 children.
And how have you blended your families? Because you have 3 kids, right?
Yes, and we have. And it's been what you would expect from a Brady Bunch family coming together. There's chaos, there's fun, there's laughter, there's tears, it's all of the above.
Well, you also opened up to Emily and viewers about your divorce. So why don't we revisit that scene from last night? Let's take a look.
Divorce sucks. Yeah. It's not easy. I mean, I think it's almost harder than death. It is a death, actually.
It is.
Death of a 14-year marriage. I think in life, when you're with someone, there's 2 options. You can grow apart or you grow together. So we grew apart.
So you mentioned that your marriage was in a bad place before the divorce. And as you said, sometimes you grow apart, sometimes you grow together. So when did you realize that you had in fact grown apart and that it was over?
I think, to be honest, I think I tried. I thought Jim was going to be my forever. When I took those vows, I honestly didn't think divorce was going to be an option. But when it starts getting toxic enough in the relationship and between 2 people that it bleeds into the family, or it's just too much, I think you have to take a step back. And I had to pray for a long time about it. But, some things happened that just brought it to a head.
I mean, that's a long time to be in something that you know isn't good for you. Did the show have anything to do with it? Or was the show perhaps something that was a good distraction for you during that rocky time?
Well, Jim and I have 2 different opinions about that. For me, the show didn't tear us apart more because it actually gave me something that was my own, and it gave me a career. And I wasn't just a wife, a maid, a nurse, a mom. I was, a taxi driver. I actually had something that was for me again. But I know he feels that the show probably, brought the marriage to more of an end faster than, or just to an end.
What's your relationship with Jim like now?
Well, I'm not going to say it's always been picture perfect, because at the beginning of the divorce, it was definitely, and through the divorce process, it was definitely rocky, tumultuous, hard, so many emotions. I mean, anyone going through a divorce knows everything I'm talking about. You're crying over the loss of your family. You're crying over sharing your kids. And I was like full-time mom mode. He'd never changed a diaper or fed a kid. Like, he didn't know bath time. He didn't know any of that stuff. So it was really hard for me to give up that freedom or those reins for my family. But in the end, now coming full circle, we've been through it all. It's been a year and a half now. And, we've worked out a good friendship. And I think we'll always be friends, till the day we die, because we have 3 beautiful children together that we have to bring through this world. And the best way to do it is to be friends, right? So you've got to put all the animosity and the resentments behind you which we're both doing, and move on. And so we got a divorce for a reason, and obviously we're better off as friends now because we're not under the same roof.
Well, now you're in this happy new relationship. Are you thinking about possibly walking down the aisle again? Would you get married again?
Until I met Drew, I said no, and I told all the guys I dated I'm never getting married again. Not all the guys, that makes me sound like I dated a lot, but a few, the guys that I did date.
Yeah.
But then I met Drew, and yeah, it changed my world. So definitely.
All right, I can't wait.
That is so exciting to hear. We're really happy for you. Now, tell us, have you been watching this season of Real Housewives of Orange County? Because Emily and Shane's relationship has appeared quite rocky this season. I'm wondering if you see any similarities between her marriage and yours to Jim, or any red flags that she should be looking out for.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because after I have been watching, this is the first season that I've actually watched since I left the show, and it was due to the fact that I had the cameo appearance coming on. So I wanted to, I should have been supporting Emily when she first started the show, but I just don't have a lot of time for TV anyway. But I did start watching this season, and I reached out to her after the one episode. I think it was 2 episodes ago, and we met for coffee again. And I just said, girl, it's very similar, and it's scary to me, and I'm just here for you. And I just want you to do whatever you can to save your marriage, because on the other side of it, divorce isn't easy. And there's many nights I cry myself to sleep. Drew and I both still do, because we miss our kids, and neither of us would be in a divorce situation, selectively, we wouldn't have wanted to be where we are. So, I feel for her a lot. And I know that I've seen that they're doing a lot better now, just so you know, things happen, and there's definitely ups and downs in a marriage. But I just did want to reach out to her and let her know that I saw some similarities, and I was here to support her.
Yeah, she was here actually, I think it was last week or the week before, with Dave, and she said that the two of them were doing a lot better. So that was great to hear.
Yeah.
And we're curious, other than Emily, are you in touch with anyone else from the cast?
Yes, I just attended Lydia's. Lydia had, from this season's cast. No.
Yeah.
No.
You could do old seasons, so you still talk to Lydia.
What's that?
You could do old seasons too, so you still talk to Lydia.
Lydia, I mean, Gina, if I see Gina Q out or we're out, we still talk. I saw Lizzie at Lydia's event yesterday. We said hi. And then Lydia had the event. So who else was there? I didn't even recognize Peggy. Peggy was there. And I feel so bad right now, because I would have gone up and said hi, but she cut her hair really, really short. And I was just I didn't even notice her. Peggy, not Peggy Tanous, Peggy S, the one that has the S.
Sulahan, yep.
Sulahan, yes. So, yeah.
I have to ask you a little bit of RHOC trivia, because Tamara called you, as kind of an iconic moment, she called you Jesus Jugs. And I want to know, that was back in 2012. All these years later, how do you feel about that now? Has it been a nickname that's stuck with you?
Well, what really irks me about that, and first of all, Tamara claiming Christianity, okay, whatever. Yeah. But she called me Jesus, or someone called me Jesus Barbie, and that's what started the whole Jesus having anything to do in my name. And so then on the reunion, she has to take that to a negative light and say Jesus Jugs. And yeah, I mean, I don't like it, but it is, hey, I'm owning it now, because that's what I'm called, and they're still here. So
I love it. I love that you've embraced that negativity and turned it into a positive.
Yeah.
All you can do, right?
Yeah.
You flipped the narrative. We love that. Well, let's also talk about another show that you're on, because you're part of the new cast of Marriage Bootcamp Reality Stars Family Edition, and that premieres this Friday, October 11th on WeTV. So why don't we take a look at this clip of you and your mum?
Oh.
My mom cheated on my dad, and then she went back to college and she had a full-time job, so I became a mom at 12, and I was thrown into that role.
Okay, so my answer to that is I felt like I was a mother to my parents from the time I was about 10 or 12 years old.
Well, then that's your job to break the cycle.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, tell me about the intensity of being in a boot camp and trying to work through these issues with your parent.
I haven't seen any of the clips from boot camp yet, so it's going to be really hard to watch, because those therapists really do take you and break you down to get to the true core problem and bring you back, build you back up. So there were so many tears in that mansion when I was there. And mind you, I had just literally moved out of my house from my children and bought my own home a month before we started taping that. So I was in a really just a delicate state then, and probably shouldn't have filmed Marriage Bootcamp then, but I wanted the help because if my marriage suffered and failed, then let's fix the relationship with my mom, right? Like, let's do something positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was hard. It was rough, and we are a lot stronger now. We talk like so much deeper because one of my mom's issues were, I mean, I had many of my own issues, but one of hers was that she's kind of closed off and doesn't like, she doesn't want to start talking when things get rough. And I'm just a communicator. I'm like, let's just hash it out now, get it done and move on. And we close, you close it. So we're there now.
Oh, that's wonderful. So we're excited to see that play out over the course of the season of Marriage Bootcamp. But we can't thank you enough for joining us today. It was really fun to see you on Housewives last night. Make sure you can you catch Real Housewives of Orange County Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central on Bravo. And then season 13 of Marriage Bootcamp Reality Stars, that starts on Friday, 10, 9 Central on WeTV.
Thanks,
And
Alexis.
of course, Alexis will be there with her mom. So best of luck with everything.